And speaking of the Fostering the Future initiative, joining us now is Emel Akan, a senior White House correspondent for the Epoch Times. Emel, thanks for coming on the show. We learned a little bit from those clips about what's in this executive order. Can you detail out specifically what it includes?
Hi, Kevin. Nice to see you. So this is a huge development for the First Lady because this is a pride moment for her. This initiative that we just saw, the signing of the executive order, helps the children in foster care system and youth to have the resources that they need. So what do these people need? They need better education, and they need good careers when they transition into adulthood. They need rental assistance. They need housing assistance. They need all the resources they need because there's a huge gap between them and their peers, according to statistics. And I think this moment, with this executive order, the aim is to expand the resources that we have for these people, foster care children, and so that they can be successful in society. As President said, these people will not be forgotten anymore. So that was an important moment for both the President and the First Lady.
Very interesting insight. And we've seen such tremendous work from all of the First Ladies across the political spectrum. Michelle Obama, with her aim to bolster the health and the well-being of people through nutrition, and now, of course, Melania's executive order helping those foster children. Now, what do we know about the First Lady's involvement in this order and that the issues that she wants to address?
First Lady has put children a central focus. For her, children are central focus during her in the office during the first term and the second term. Now we see that it's a central focus for her. And today, with this one, is the expanding the resources for the foster care, as we just said. And also, she has been very actively involved with this initiative, as well as the initiative that she launched in 2018, Be Best initiative, where she addressed issues such as online safety and drug abuse. So those are the things that she wants to focus on and continue to focus on when it comes to children. And we're not only seeing her focus here at home, but she's also taking care of children in Ukraine and other parts of the world as well.
Well, that's absolutely definitely needed, and I'm very glad to hear about all these specifics. Now, how could expanding access to education and workforce training impact these Americans?
Well, this is a huge number. When you talk about 400,000 people are in foster care, according to the Department of Education, and roughly 20,000 of them transitioned into adulthood every year. So it's a workforce, and if these people gain the training they need, they get the education they need, I think they can be a very useful part of the society. Now, statistics also show that 20% of them will become homeless if they are not taken care of. So it is a huge number, and I think these people need better education, better jobs, because there's a huge gap, as I said earlier, compared to their peers. And for example, when you compare the wage they get compared to their peers, they are paid 50% lower than their peers. So it shows that there's a discrepancy in society. And so these initiatives are really important for them to close those gaps.
Right. What's good for them is also good for the nation. It's a win-win. Now, how significant is the $25 million investment for housing support?
Yeah, that investment was already announced, I think in May, through the executive order. And there is a significant rental assistance needed for these people. And I think it's part of the resources, as President outlined, that they have already expanded the resources. And with these additional executive order, there will be more resources for these people. So I think it's a huge step. And for rental assistance is important for these people. So I think for them to start a new careers, have an opportunity to live in a better place, I think is important. So I think that is part of the initiative that they announced today.
Yes, absolutely. And President Trump invoking his faith and referencing the Bible in the motivation behind all this. Now, what message does this executive order send about the Trump administration's perspective on vulnerable children?
Exactly. So he said it very clear that these people will not be forgotten anymore. And I think that is a strong message. And I do believe that it will create a big impact on the economy and on the workforce and labor force as well.
Yes, and there's another aspect to all this, Mel. It's Melania's initiative to save Ukrainian children. What has been the impact of this initiative so far?
So in August, First Lady Melania Trump sent a letter to Russia's President Putin. In the letter, she was asking about the children, Ukrainian children who are missing, who are separated from their parents. So she asked his assistance for bringing these families together. Now, there are people fighting, children fighting in the war that are abducted by the Russian forces, and there are children also who are being kidnapped in the areas that are being occupied by Russia. So those roughly, according to estimates, roughly 20,000 or even higher numbers of children are missing at the moment. And this is a significant issue for Ukraine. And after that letter, there were some developments, and the First Lady's office made announcements about how many children being released or being brought together with their families. So roughly in October, I think last month, they announced that 8 children actually brought together with their families. So that was a good initiative, and it's been an ongoing effort.
Right, good first steps to a very big challenge. I mean, international organizations report that the number of missing persons has just skyrocketed, the Ukraine war being one example. So how are the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine working together on this?
The First Lady's office also said that U.S. officials are also working, cooperating with Ukrainians and Russians on this issue. We don't have many details, but for sure, U.S. officials are involved and to bring the families together. So it's a significant development for U.S., for the United States as well, and for the president's peace effort.
That's right. And does this initiative have any impact on peace between Russia and Ukraine?
I think so, because it really eases the tensions, because this is such a huge problem for Ukrainians, for Zelensky, Ukrainian President Zelensky, as well as Ukrainian families. So I think it could be a factor if more children return to their families during the war. So I think it's an important element of the peace process.
Thank you, Mel, for your great reporting on this.
Thank you, Kevin.